next step we're going to do is we take this model into Maya, and he's got a fairly good representation. And like I said, I have some notes here to not forget to what to do when I do bring him in Maya. So we want to add some edge loops around the face region, especially around the eyelids. Make sure there's enough space in there for a tear duct, and maybe around the nose, around the cap there. We want to give him some almost like talons, like some digging claws. He's like the truffle pig digging claw, and the little hoof pieces at the bottom of his feet, and those are ready to go in Maya. So I have these two pieces here. Let me group those together. It's the first mush group, GRP01, and hold down X, snap that over. There we go. So there you can see the ends of the fingers. There's a bit of a claw there. Same thing at the ends of the toes. It's like a little hoof, kind of toenail coming out there. And so in order to get that, we want to extrude and add some edge loops in there, each of those spots. And then we haven't even gotten to the costume yet. We could do that separately. But this one, the face I did earlier in a class demo, forgot about, so I'd already done a bunch of work. It's like, oh man, I cut some edge loops underneath the pectoral, chest muscles, cut some edge. Yeah, I guess it's not anything too great. Cut some extra edge loops around the corners of the eyes, things like that. But I think I was moving this around using vertex pushing and Maya. So let's try it in ZBrush. So go back over to ZBrush here and go to the FBX exporter. So that's going to be through the Z plugin. So FBX exporter. Thank goodness they got FBX support. Export. And I didn't look at the options, so just to double check here, it's been a minute. Go to the options here for exporting. Don't need any cameras. Export only smoothing levels. Export polygroups as materials. That's interesting. Okay, let's check that on. And export polygroups as SS sets. Now, selection sets can be useful, but I'm going to leave that off because I also had problems with it. And then when we go back to importing, we can import materials as polygroups. So we're going to actually make polygroups out of materials, which we can then also UV map and make into UDMs, which means each of these polygroups would get its own island of UV space for some really high resolution texture mapping. So I'm happy with the posture on this guy. His arms are still a little far back, but they could be forward a tiny bit. We didn't get the curl quite into the fingers yet, but we're getting there. There's an arc flow. All the arcs flow pretty clean. I don't see any zigzags, at least not readily apparent. Is that the lowest poly? That is the lowest poly version. Lowest poly version is only 2400 poly, so it's very low poly. So we have space to put in the nails on both the fingers and the toes and around the eye sockets. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to grab the export selected, Mush low poly, and there's the Maya. I do have a ZBrush file. I have an FBX folder here as well. Put these in alphanumeric order. Here we go. So I have an FBX folder inside the ZBrush, inside the Maya project folder structure. I also have FBX ZBrush slash underscore digital sculptures. I'm like, okay, put it in there. All right, so I'll put it in there. But save that. File exported. We'll go back into Maya. And let's see, we'll save this scene and we're going to import from the right folder, which had the big long title. Boy, I sure hope I'm in the same folder. That would be really embarrassing if I'm not. Maybe I'm not. Might not be the right one. Okay, let me go check. Okay, I didn't want to bore you with my directory problems. See if I have an FBX Mixamo folder, so it's a little different. Picking fruit, jumping, kicking. Yeah, so I grabbed some Mixamo animations and some earlier tests. So we'll do, I think, the same one here. We'll rename this ZBrush underscore FBX pipeline. Sure, there's a better way to do this, but yeah, good enough. All right, so we do that. Go back over here. And now we should have ZBrush FBX, and there's the low poly. So it's only 169 kilobytes. That's crazy. It's not even half a gigabyte. There we go. And look at that. Poly groups as colors. That's pretty fantastic. I love it. So I can click on this, and if I go to my hypershader, we'll see that the Mush poly groups 33, 32 font. They don't name them anything nice or give you the option to name them that I saw, but at least it's something. So go back to front viewport here. And let's see, why is it doing that? Oh, I got the shader override on. That's why. There we go. And so we'll go and zoom in and move the pivot point down here, turn off the, we got snapped on the grid at first. There we go. Go to the side view. Same thing. Bring it up, make sure that our grid with the snap here is right at the bottom of the foot. There we go. Zoom back out and then hold down X and snap that up. And inside this project, we have the image planes right on the ground. So didn't fix the grid options on here just quite yet. Thought I did. So always do your main axis some kind of obnoxious color so you know exactly where your main axis is. You don't want to have that being questioned where your center line is, asymmetry, right? Because this model has asymmetry, right? We got to go in there and deal with the groin got off somehow. Don't know what happened. Um, Same thing with the grid line numbers and subdivisions. They're exact same gray with the background gray. Almost impossible to tell them apart. So we'll do that. And now we have a little dark blue in between. Hit apply. And then last thing I like to do here is hit the so Alt B button, switch to background 1, 2. There we go. So this blue. So now I can really see, have a separation. And if I turn the grid off, you can see the models show through a little bit nicer. Get the image plane in there, and he's a little large, so go to X-ray mode, hit the scale tool and bring him down, back down the size. Go to the side front view, get it real precise. And that looks good right there. Very good, cool. And we can compare and contrast, see what I did during class. So I can grab these two, hit the isolate key, and click off of there. And Alt 5 on the keyboard, right, turn your wireframe on and off. And you can see the one I did in class, I had started to push the edge loops in there, but then stopped to shaping because shaping is so much nicer in ZBrush. You can see over here, the shape of the face is much better. So this shows you what it's like going from one, doing it the detail one app where I can insert the edge loops a little easier. I think the feet maybe are equally pretty good. I think they turn out better in ZBrush so far from, at least for that, it's been like an hour in each one. The hand was still getting done over here, so you see the hand's not scaled right, so a little bit easier over here in ZBrush. So that all that little pushing and pulling I'm doing to get the arc flow and the curvature right, you see it's a little bit nicer in ZBrush, a little cleaner, a little easier to read. Although I do find it easier, just maybe it's my own skill set, but to bring in, to do the extra edge loop cuts in Maya. And you can see these edge rings, but then I'll cut them in Maya and bring them back into ZBrush, which is what we are doing now. So we'll go out of that view mode. Let's see if which of these are in any. Let's see, the body mesh. We'll call this body mesh underscore Maya class example. Save. Grab this one here. Right click, add subject to the layer. Turn it off. Actually, I do have some eyeballs there as well. See if these are already UV mapped. UV editor, yes, they are little eyeballs. Actually, I'm curious to see if this one was also. Yeah, this is already UV mapped. Like, that's nice. That's already done. That's clean. If I click on the new one, though, however, yeah, scrambled eggs. So, and ugh, right? Ouch. So we're gonna have to re-UV map this guy. You can see, especially down, it looks right down around the feet, is where the UV's got all messed up. But no biggie. Could UV map so fast nowadays. And the face, where it's really aligned now accurately in Maya, I could see the little nuances and differences that maybe using pure ref I wasn't being like super accurate, but I think you need that creative license and you want to move things around a little bit based on the feel, how it's going when you're actually sculpting on a model. So for this side view here, it's still off just a little bit. So you could pull forward a little bit here, a little over there, but I think I still like freeforming it in Maya. I want to sculpt it. It's a model. It doesn't need to be, my drawing skills are not quite up to where my uh, sculpting skills are, so in my opinion. Okay, so let's take this model here and we'll grab the eyes too, I think is important. We'll add a new layer with selected object, eyeballs. There we go. Hide that, and then there we go. Add this one, select, and we'll go mush, body, see edge loop, final. So this way we know we're putting the final edge loops in there. I hope. It never is. My naming conventions are horrible. Oh well. Great. So I have that on there at least, so I could turn it off and on, so I could see the detail in the background where the head's at. So you see the cheeks can come out some more. You can see the eye, the channel here going around the side. So we go to the front view, zoom in nice and close, and we could turn that on. We could go into X-ray mode. And there we go. So now we can get a better idea for where we might want to put some of the edge loops in there. So I think a few things were obvious. So let's get the center line uh, fixed for first off. So right click, double click on that scale, go all the way down flat to the scale, go to move, hold down X, snap it to the grid. So your center line should be perfectly centered, which means one side's probably off a tiny bit. So yeah, yet again, everyone's favorite thing to do, right, is delete one half, mirror it over, merge it up, delete. One here, it's centered, no inputs, freeze. I moved it, translate, and scaled it. So freeze, delete, Control Shift D, or edit duplicate special. Maybe I didn't put the -1 in X. Looks like I did not because it's a refresh install. So there we go. So duplicate special. Grab the two sides. Modeling toolkit, combine. It's the easiest way I like to do. Go to vertex mode, grab all the vertices and merge them together. Okay, awesome. Go to object mode and bring the pivot back down where it should go. You can turn the, oops, turn that on. I don't even know what that does. What is that? Oh, the blue pencil. Oh, okay, if I'm doing, like a grease pencil, it's a grease pencil. Yeah, been a while since I did character animation too. Yeah, see it's off from the side view. So always check that as that yellow line changing the grid. A lot of people, my classes are not changing the UI, but look how much easier and cleaner this it is to see where things are now. Way easier to see. And I think the feet are off from the drawing a tiny bit, but I think I like where they're at. So if I can get down here to the feet on my channel layer, I get image plane just for the foot, turn that off on the reference. Oops. There we go. And I can grab that and bring it back a little. Yeah, okay. It's over there. Maybe bring it back like that. Should be okay. And also, I think I was turning it, so if it was going to be this way like that, and then bring it back, that's, I think, a um, better position for that foot as it relates to the rest of the model, at least. Yeah, and maybe even if they're too big, I can scale them down. But I'm going to leave. I have great big feet on the model. I'm just gonna leave it. It's fine for now. The hands are still a bit flat and thin and frail. They have big giant hands on the drawing. I'm not doing that. I do want to get the edge lips in on the face though. So put the feet back to uh, where they were. And get the eyeballs. And hold down X. And let's change the grid fitting to be a little closer. So 1000 and 110. There we go. Applying close. So a little less cumbersome on getting things to snap easier. There we go. Boom. Eyes. And look at it from the side view. And you can see there it's also off from the drawing a little bit. And I'm not sure if I pull it forward. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So right there. Cool. D and X. So yeah, there's a lot of, this positioning is it's a little tiresome, freeze, delete, but you'll get, better, faster, stronger, and keep at it. And see X-ray mode. Can we see those eyes? Let's hide the body for just a minute. I don't have the body edge lips final. I thought I did. Huh. Okay. Right click, add selected object, and hide. There we go. All right. And then eyeballs. Right click, go to vertex mode, and let's see if we can see the tip middle of the eyeballs right there. Cool. Whoops. Let's turn symmetry on. Usually I have it on. Just forgot that one time. There we go. And maybe we can even scale it down just a little bit. Okay. And you can see where the iris is right out there. So I can grab this one here and we can use the connect tool. If I want to get it right to the edge of where we want the iris to be, then we use the mesh tool slide edge tool. And we just slide that edge right where we want the pupil to be inside of there. And that should be good. Okay, the eyes are ready. We didn't set the eyes from the side view, however, so let's double check that as well. Go back to object mode or vertex mode. There we go. And for the eyelids right there. Yeah, it feels a little big still, honestly, so I'll scrunch it down some more. Back to the front viewport. Yeah, eyeballs, eyelids are tricky. Maybe a little big. Air on the side a little smaller. I think I tend to make them always too big, so whatever. We'll make those adjustments. Not whatever, but we have much the finesse of the eyeballs being perfect in the eyelid. Like let's get the eyelid edge loops in there first. So we'll go back over here to the body, and now we can see where did the eyeballs go? Where did your little eyeballs go? And now they're back here. I thought I had them. Guess not. There we go. Yeah. Okay, yep. Still ways to go. So grab these, grab the body here and hit one edge, give the edge rings all the way around, double click the one next to it, and it should automatically have them all selected. And so I have them all selected right there. Modeling toolkit, and I'm going to connect one time. And probably do two, so middle mouse drag, that'll do two. Edge loops, insert it within the edge ring, enter. There we go. Now feel more comfortable grabbing this corner here for the tear duct, dragging that one over a little bit, as well as the corner of the eyelid, which should then be curving downward, right? These two corners. Yeah, same thing here. Can I go up a little? And this is going to be an eye socket, so not to overdo this one too much either. Bring it in. The resolution, there's a way to crank up the resolution of the image plane, and I am forgetting all of a sudden, so come back to that. Edge loop right here, double click, control, there we go. And B, soft select, kind of like we're doing with the move topological for quite a while in ZBrush, so move topological and bring it back. Oops, there we go. Bring that back. Let's turn off the X-ray mode in the 3D viewport so you can kind of get a better gauge for how this is working. Have it there, a little high still. Usually you want it the lower half of the eye covering, not the upper. Upper high would be like fear or surprise. Lower half would be normal, average, and then we can also bring that in a little bit. Get it kind of a little more shows on the inside typically than the outside of the eyeball. So we'll hit vertex mode here, grab these 3 vertices, make sure we didn't get anything in the back on accident. We're good. Okay, and bring those in. Very nice. Grab these 3 here, make sure, oh, I got some on the back side, deselect, and bring those in. And middle mouse, B middle mouse drag. Get a little bit more finesse with that. There we go. Look at it from the inside, bring it back. Some more there as well. Cool. Pretty happy with that. Turn off soft select for a moment and grab these one at a time. Bring it back. So this is where the 2 viewport really helps a lot in my estimation, like having a clear picture of what you're doing. There we go. It's a little too high up. There we go. And yeah, the eyelids, getting the eyelid position is quite the task. To be honest, it's takes a minute and it is tedious. So, but it's the eyes, the to your soul to your character is in the eyes. There we go. All right, looks like that's looking better. Take away those. So I got that one right there. Let me bring it out. Edge of the eye socket. He definitely has the lower eyelid here defined very strongly, so we want this lower eyelid to come down here and here. And these ones out here, still too far away. We can do a slide edge tool, so we can slide them middle mouse, drag them closer. Uh-oh, gotta do edge, of course. Haha, there it goes. Bring them in. That, same thing here. Grab those 2 and bring them in a little bit. That's still, we're gonna still need to cut another edge loop through here, I believe. And the little nostrils there. Probably another one along right here as well. So double click there. Goes all the way around the back. We'll stop it right there. And we'll have it cut across this wide portion right here. Along the jaw lines usually, or even we could do one more along this jawline that's a little bit more centered up to do the end-gone polycut across there, although I like that space right there as well. Yeah, I think either one's fine. So connect that, whoa, middle mouse to single, and then do double click there, it goes all the way across the middle. And and hit the connect tool one time, enter. There we go. And then do the triangle split. So when you have a quad, you want to go from 2 rows of quads into a single. You cut it across here diagonally, go diagonal cut. Then from the corner vertex to the middle of the hypotenuse, I usually go shift to go center. And I have handouts and videos on the Ngon polycut. We use it at the, usually use it down here at the knuckles. Ah, I have the air to fix too. That's right. The toe. See, I didn't write it down. My knuckle air. Knuckles. What have I done? So we want to get rid of that one and then do the same and go on polycut here to here. Then bring this over. There we go. That's very nice. Yeah, cool. And then you see the knuckles are off over there. We can get real precise here, do some manual slipping and slide, whoops, manual slipping and sliding of the edges here. You want to get those feeling right. There we go. This one here, there's this one's off. Looking at it up. So yeah, a lot of that finesse. We're gonna add the nails in there as well in a minute. So preparing that surface, and if we mess one side up, we just delete one half and come back over and fix it up. Do it again. All right. Make sure we get the right side. Eyelid. Yeah, almost like little fun cats. The eyelids I had going back up into the side of the head here, and I have the image plane really turned down a lot. But you can see there, like, swoops up like that. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's fun to sculpt that design in. So we can come to the front viewport here. Maybe hit soft select. Maybe crank it up a bit, and we can kind of prepare some of that surface to be curling up. Yeah, there it goes. Inside. There's another line right there. Let's see that one. And those are actually in the sculpt too. There's one there and then there's another one there. So we need to cut those edge loops in as well. I think I'm going to err on the side of just getting this started, sculpting it, and then fixing it yet again with another, so we're looking for with another quad draw. Because vertex pushing is just really, to me, it's harder on the body. It's not as fun. Um, yeah, like I said, it's a very engineering way to be creative. And for fine arts, for character design, my goodness, can we have some sculptural um, techniques, preserve something in the fine art techniques that's actually primal, like very important. Sculpting is probably one of the first things we did, right? Charcoal drawings on the walls, cave walls, and sculpting dirt, mud, clay, whatever. Clay comes right out of the ground. My soapbox moment, sorry. There you go. That's coming up there. This one's going to be right there. That one's still going back. That's good. Maybe a little sharper still. See how it goes when we subdivide it once and subdivide it twice. All right, there we go. So this little cheek piece coming up there. Yep, yep, yep. This one's up here. Yep, this one's up there. Go to the side view. And Didn't know it's come back much further. Oh, I'll be darned. I didn't think it did. Yeah. Um, these moments here, the vertex pushing is a little bit more time savers accurate. Complain when we do it when we gotta do it. Maybe it doesn't have to be super pointy. Maybe it comes forward just a little bit. There we go. And then chin's down there still, as well as the neck. Grab these pieces here. B, turn on soft select. There we go. And then grab these four pieces here. Those down. Just some better spacing here for the Adam's apple. And then this one. So you see all these nuances, maybe with the pure ref over the top, maybe I wasn't getting that level of precision I'm going to get in here, right? And that's the nature of the beast. There we go. And then these are going to be coming in a little flatter here. Use some more edge loops at the chest. That's one of the things I had done in the other model I can show you is I'd cut some edge loops under around the pectoral and then up around the armpit and was getting ready to cut in and add some stuff in, but I kind of jettisoned that idea when I realized it was getting messy and I was wasting time. And so knowing when to cut helps a lot too. There we go. He's a cute little guy. I like this character a lot. Quite the decision-making process, when to continue on a character for demo and when to call it done. Certainly, Mush and the World of Mush project is going to be something I work on for quite a while and have all my class demos revolve around a set of characters. Let's see, should I cut this underneath the nose? Right to there, not quite yet, maybe another one down to the bottom of the chin. No, let's continue down and really do these, this one underneath the chin to the nape of the neck. So let's go all the way down to the clavicle. Oops, I'm on the toolkit and connect that. There we go. And then here we can do the Ngon poly cuts, right? So I can go down here, maybe go a little bit past halfway, and then across there. And now when we make the nape of the neck pit, so to speak, make sure I get the back stuff. Now we can really drop that in there as needed and bring this back in here. It's a little trick I like to do underneath the chin. And at the top here, we have the same one. So we'll come back up here, multi-cut across the middle. Place we won't see too often. He'll usually have his cap on. The different caps will have different powers. So whether your costumes are purely for theatrical reasons or for gameplay mechanics, you can have lots of fun playing with that. Yeah, he still needs some more cuts around the rings of the eyes as well. Underneath the neck's looking okay. Maybe let's clean them out again. So every once in a while, channel box, just check your inputs, see how long the inputs are getting. Freeze, delete by type, delete history. There we go. And nape of the neck's okay. Yeah, semis are getting pretty long through here. curves around through there so that we could easily go across here again, underneath here again. I think that's what I was beginning to tinker with. Yeah, there's again the chest being right there, and bringing that up. I think, although the neck region, um, there's a lot of edge loops there to bend. There's a lot crunch back here in the back of the head as well. Um, and he does need more support to curve those eyelids out. So I think I'm going to leave that for now. Let me go back in here really close. Let's do the actual eyelid around this part here. And let's connect that one time. That's where we know, all right, you're going to need that eyelid to really hold true. Same thing in the inside of the eyelid. So I'll do one more here, double click, connect. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, escape out of that a little fast there. Oh, yes, of course, we haven't backed that out yet. So yeah, easier to just grab the face here for the eye socket. And what I like to do is do shift drag and just extrude it in one time like that. That gives you the thickness of the eyelid in one shot. Same thing with the mouth cap, you could do this as well. And it's going to go out the side. So a lot of times after I do that, I'm going to scale it in slightly and try and get the thickness of the eyelid equal all around, except for the tear duct on the inside, which tends to need an extra extension going out the side there. That should be good. Okay, one more time. Go to the move tool. Shift drag that in, that, and then scale, and then scale it up and out. So you want to be bigger than the eyelids, right? You want the cavity of the eye socket, sorry, to go in. Go a little slow here. Make sure you don't get any wild, crazy diagonals through here as you go. So to see that right there, maybe scale that back in a little bit so this doesn't get too sharp, stressing out. There we go. So maybe right here, we can maybe curve that back this way a little. There we go. So as long as it goes in, we're going to let the eyeball itself clip through the eye socket. I'm not going to do a perfectly fitted round eye socket, that's for sure. But we could bring down back one more, go back to edge mode, grab this one, double click all the way around, connect one time, and then scale that. And that's going to really push the opening of the eye socket cavity. And so now he's got some pretty legit eyelids for that part. And we still need to give him a nostril as well, so we'll do that next. Over here. Yep, it's looking good. Across there. We need to come down here as well. So just doing some subtle adjustments to the face that I might still, like I said, do more in terms of using quad draw to like move stuff around. But let's see, let's just try it. Let's do quad draw, hold down shift, and let's relax some of these around. See how nice that works. It just kind of moves them apart from each other. And if things are clustered tightly together, quad draw really is nice. I've just turned it on and just using shift. I'm just doing shift drag. You see my dialer down there. It just really does the job. Does a great job of evening those out. Yeah, and he still needs more of that back of the neck here. That's still not quite right. But if I smooth them one time, there we go. It's getting much more interesting. Click off of there. Turn off wireframe on solid. There you go. You can see how well the eyelids hold up now. And if I go back to this mode here, Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Okay, go into back into the lower poly version, and we can grab most of, I think, where the jawline is outside the in front of the neck where the jaw is at least. Mhm. And scale them out, or just use the move tool. And let me opt to turn on soft select. So basically doing what the move topological brush does at this point. We are shaping little bit at a time, slow and deliberate, um, and matching it up more precisely to the image plane than what we had before. This is really a helpful phase in the design of the base mesh for our main character. There we go. Yeah, and the rest of that stays kind of caved in here a little bit. It should that curve, this arc flow should be definitely coming out, not in. So let's try quad draw again. And whoa, what the hell just happened? Wrong button. Shift. Relax. There we goes. Shift, relax. Just relax. Here we go. Down to the chin. Shift, relax. Along the jawline. Shift, relax. Curl back up. And maybe that was too much. So make sure you're at the right angle when you're doing this stuff. Bringing those in. Yeah, this part will sculpt more in ZBrush, so I'm just kind of getting it a little bit closer to see. Shift, relax, move these all around. See, it caves in there. It doesn't hold profile edges very well either. So definitely not a, don't want to go too quick and dirty with it. Yeah, see that ruins the edge. So keep it away from the profile edges, the silhouette edges. Like just in between stuff that works pretty well. All right, nice. I'm happy with it. Okay, fingernails. So yeah, we're going to come back and add the gill sections to the top of the head. Up here, these little pieces here, you see curving around here. Side there, you can really see it from the side view much better. These little gill pieces that go up into the cap along the back. So we're going to come back to those. And put some nails on them. How are we doing on time? 43 minutes again already. Oh my goodness, that goes fast. All right, let's do the tips of the fingers then. All right, here, go to face view mode. So each of the bottom of these, what we're going to take is the edge here and here, zoom in. Again, working extremities of the hand can be tricky in a full character in the way things zoom in and out and rotate and dock around. So be really slow and careful on how you want to do this. And take your time on, because the axes can get off, you can get the diagonals. See, there's a more flow problems right there. You can find your vertical flow gets really off by a lot if you're not careful. So for this part though, you want to push in, you want to push this down usually quite a bit. I'm using the screen, so I'm kind of using my, it's so organic, I'm using the screen as my lock. This little yellow box is always perpendicular to the screen, so it stays square no matter what angle I'm at. So if I can get it like that, and then add these two, I can really push this down here, and then you get the top knuckle popping up like that. And I think that's going to be good. Yeah, but it's off right there though. See this part? this one and this one off. It should be out here. There we go. So finessing the tips of the fingers in here, I think, is much easier than a ZBrush sometimes. Ah, but could be wrong. Up to you. Some of you might be using Blender to follow along. That is fine. Like this technique, like pushing vertices, does not matter all that much which app you're using. So for you Blender users, more power to you. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. We can add some edge loops at the tips of the fingers here. So I'm going to make sure it's the same for all of them as I go. So I'm going to go around here, double click, and modeling toolkit, connect one time, enter. Go the next one over, 1, 2 back, this one to this one, connect, enter. And then that's going to be kind of the main knuckle. So for that one, I can scale locally, get bigger, make sure I'm at the good view angle here to the screen, the monitor, and I can grab my center there and push that up a little bit. And the bottom here, usually on the finger, is this one and this one. Usually we can scale that out a little and then back. There we go. Behind the knuckle, each knuckle, usually the bone is going to run into it a little more so you can kind of bring that in to the knuckle itself. Like that. It's like way too far out there. Oh well. Didn't mean for it to go that far out there. So let's do the same thing for the next one. And yeah, maybe this will be easier in ZBrush, so I'm not gonna, because I'm at a weird angle, but I wanted to put those extra knuckles in, 2 edge loops back, so just do the same thing in the thumb. Right here, connect one time, enter. There we go. And let's grab the tip of the thumb, same thing we were doing with the tips of the fingers. And I'll bounce around a lot here, but I'm trying to speed up a little bit. I feel like I'm a little casual. There we go. So see, it kind of pops that upper part of the thumb, the knuckle behind the nail, pops it up a little more. That where the cuticle is going to be. And make sure I didn't get off center too much there. Get off a tiny bit. So I mean about the view angle on the fingers, gets things just start getting all wiggly jiggly. Mm-hmm. That looks okay actually. A little peaks and valleys going there. And we did this finger. Did I? That accentuated nicely. That's how I was hoping to see on there. Because we're going to take 4 quads and extrude the nail off. So this one, same thing here. I think, yeah, this one needs it. Needs to be expanded up a little and brought away up above the knuckle where the nail's going to come out. F on the keyboard once in a while if your arc rotate spinning on the axis is getting weird. There we go. Yeah, and these needed that height, the depth. They were really flattened out in ZBrush, so that's fine. And back behind the knuckles where it's going to have the bend, so the the knuckle edge lip should be one forward from where the actual crease of the bend. So this would be considered the edge lip of the knuckle, the upper part of the knuckle. The crease behind it should be one row behind, like this part is usually where I'm going to put behind. So knuckle forward and it creases and comes back behind it. That works almost all the time for knuckles. Do the same thing. Let's push it over here. Grab this one, bring it down, grab the next two, Bring it down. There it goes. See that nice slope happening. And then these two next ones. Make sure I didn't get off side to side. Looks like I might have a little bit there. Yeah. F on the keyboard. Center frame it. Mm, uh, that's gonna be good. Bring that in. Mm, these two. Bring in a little. And then the padding of the thumb. This will really be sculpted for sure, but this part here you can also assure yourself that's going to have the fatter meat part, and that we're going to have some more of that happening later. So each of the fingers now the extremities is where symmetry gets off very easily. If it's off a little bit, the vertices are going to start floating all over the place. So this one should be okay so far, and we can just delete and mirror it over so that's looking okay to me. Go down to his little cute little toe hooves next. How am I going to tackle these toe hooves? It's a great question. You can see from the drawings here. Let's take a look. Okay, so there's literally like little mini hooves at the end of each toe. So there's like a big kind of cuticle area that goes above and it comes down. So this round, this is the actual nail part. You should maybe use some, like go in and do the final color on it one of these days. And you can see on here on the roughs, this is the sculpt's much cleaner than this now, but this is when it's still in a rough phase. But the end of the cuticle here will come down around here and then it'll be forward here. So you could almost compare it to the hoof of a horse or pig. So if we do a horse hoof, there we go. You can see from the side view right here, you see it kind of comes up here and then comes down. So a little bit of that happening here. You can also do a pig foot or and whoa, what? Pig footed? No, I just want a pig foot. What did I just type? I don't even know. Pigfoot. There you go. Little pig toes. Yeah. Not for eating. Jeez. uh, don't make me a vegetarian. There we go. So you can kind of see how the little hooves come out of the nail. So something in between. That nail is going to be fun to do in like Substance Painter and whatnot. So we're going to really have some fun with that. Okay, so having said that, if I needed to, I could do a Control Y and the usual um, kind of lock up on there. But I think I'm just gonna leave it. Just gonna leave it off for now and have that off screen. Make it a little bit easier for me to read. And I think for each of these toes, we're gonna come up with a curve for it and then have the hoof come out. So let's come back to doing the toes. So the nails are done. We got a little bit of a start on the eyelid and the eyeball or eye socket, excuse me. And we're really getting close to being done on the base mesh.